All right, welcome back. It's time for another edition of the End of Day Report with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave price trigger reports that we put right in your hand each and every trading day. All right, so you know what it is, you know what it does. It's that time we jump back into these markets, take a look at what the market did today, and see if we can gauge a little insight on what we can expect in the overnight markets and leading into tomorrow's trading. It should be noted that tomorrow we do have our live trading webinar, so you don't want to miss that. If you want to be a part of that, you need to go to PulseWaveTrading.com so that you can have access to that. All right. So we're going to do our live trading webinar where we get live in these markets. We go in, we get it in. I will say, though, that the volatility that we have been seeing as of late has been quite interesting indeed. I got to say it. It has been interesting. And I'm really not surprised with everything that's been going on. Just in case you have missed it, just in case you may have been a little sleep, not knowing what has been going on, let me run it down for you. So, you know that, we've been dealing with everything with the results of this whole coronavirus lockdown, the pandemic. The pandemic has been introduced to us in stages, okay? And the stages that it was introduced to us, first came the virus. Then they decided that they were going to call the virus a pandemic. By labeling it a pandemic, it opened up the door for them to enact additional measures. Without it being classified as a pandemic, they wouldn't have been able to shut down the world's economies and do the things that they really had planned to do in the first place. So that's basically what it boils down to at its core. It's really not that difficult to understand. You know what I mean? It's right there in your face. So it's not that it was hard to understand. And once you got around all the nonsense, the truth was still right there looking you right in the face. All right. If you're still devoid of understanding, you don't really have to look that far. Everything that you need to know is right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like people can't grasp what has happened, in this situation, because it's right there for you. So you don't really have to look far and wide. Like I said, everything that you need to know is right there for you. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not that difficult. In other words, okay. So all you have to do is acknowledge what you see, what you hear going on, and then you just take it from there. And that's what we're doing. That's where we're at with it. We're just acknowledging the things that we know and discounting everything else. Because as I've been showing you, not all facts are truthful, but the truth is factual. And we have been operating in that environment now for a minute. And it's just that most people have been unaware of it because you have all these different ideas, all these different competing agendas. And it's just been one big mess, to be quite honest with you. It has been a mess. If we're honest, we can call this the biggest mess, I think, the world has ever seen. Just one big mess after another. One one failure after another. And they pat themselves on the back and say, we've done a great job. It's almost like they're unaware of the repercussions and ramifications of their actions. Like, we didn't do nothing wrong. That's the attitude that they're taking. Like, we didn't do anything wrong. We did everything right. It's like the arrogance of today's leadership, thinking that they're so smarter than our forebearers. Okay, so case in point, I remember when they were talking about the book that Bernanke wrote, who was he used to be the Fed chair, and he was basically saying, counting all the faults from the Great Depression, saying what he would have done because the government at the time did nothing. And he was saying that he would have done X, Y, and Z, and he would not have done X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, we are still where we are, and it has nothing to do with the coronavirus. The coronavirus is the scapegoat to blame everything on. And the truth of the matter is, they didn't have to act the way they acted, whether the virus was real or otherwise. Their action is what did everyone in. It's like someone catches the flu. And so the doctor's response is, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we have to blow this guy's head off. We have to blow his head off. What are you talking about? Why do you need to do that? Because he has the flu, ma'am. He has the flu. If this flu is allowed to flourish, ma'am, we just can't allow it. We have to blow his head off. That's where they are with it. That's how they talk. All right? They blew a man's head off because he had the flu. You cut a man's arm off because he had a splinter in his finger. That's the kind of foolishness that we've been dealing with. And the ramifications and repercussions of decades of just tomfoolery when it comes to our government. This is the result. This is the result of corruption in every area of our society, especially in government. This is the height of corruption at its core. And I don't think the people are ready to acknowledge it and deal with it. They're turning your attention away from the economy. They want you to focus on a made up racism. Racism has existed since man has existed. One people group over another thinks that they're superior to said people group. And so that is their whole ideology. We are better than them. Here's all the reasons why we're better than them. But that is really not what's going on here. They want you to focus on racism and not the economy. Because while you're focusing on racism and rioting in the streets and protesting, no one's home. You've left the home undefended. And because you've left the home undefended, while you're out there looting and rioting, your home's been invaded. All right. And you weren't there to protect it. So the thieves are running away with all the chickens and all the goats and all the cows. They're running away with all of your vegetables that you didn't harvest, all your grain, all your livestock, everything. They even stole your heirloom seeds that you haven't planted yet. They stole that. And they didn't stop there. They said, we're going to take the farm equipment too. Let's take the tractor. Why stop where we stopped at? Let's keep it going. Let's take everything. Let's remove everything. And that's what they did. While you were out there bugging, they was in your house stealing everything. And that's what really has transpired here. You've heard them talk about wealth transfer. Well, that's exactly what has been happening. While you're out there destroying private and personal property, public and private property, they're destroying your financial life. And they're sitting back and laughing at you and making more laws that are going to restrict even more of your freedoms. And they're not going to stop until they've pretty much put the Constitution in the trash and lit it on fire. So your Bill of Rights, your U.S. Constitution, is about to be thrown into the fireplace and set ablaze. All of your rights burnt to ash. You're not going to have any more rights. People don't want to listen until it's way too late. But here it is. This is what it is, folks. They're lining you up. Everything they're throwing at you, they're already a million steps ahead of you. They knew if they was to come on national TV and say, listen up, you guys, this is 100% transparency in government. We just want to let you know we was up late last night, chilling with Epstein and all these underage kids that we were having relations with. And then we came up with this amazing idea. We're going to rob the people. We're going to spin the country into oblivion. Oh, and by the way, you're gonna lose all your jobs. And by the way, we're not gonna stop there. We're gonna hit you with this disease that we have created in a lab. We're sure that you're gonna appreciate it because it's able to do some real damage. And we just wanted to just inform you because we have transparency in government. We just wanted to let you know what our goals were and what we were trying to achieve. And we're going to keep hitting you from every angle, and you're not going to know where the hits are coming from, and you're just going to be oblivious to what's happening right in front of you. Oh, and by the way, we're going to also create civil unrest. All right, we're going to create civil unrest. So that's what we're going to do too. That's the second stage. First, we hit you with the pandemic. Then we hit you with the civil unrest. And then after that, when all the last shreds of your human rights and dignity have gone up in flames and smoke, then we're going to roll out the new agenda, the new one world government, the new one world currency, the new one world religion, and this incredible prison planet control grid that we've built using 5G technology and drones and cameras and microphones everywhere. So we just figured we just let you know what we're gonna do, and we just want to, know how you felt about it. I mean, we really don't care how you feel about it, but we just figured we let you know because this is full disclosure. Okay, have a nice day. Is that what you expected? They know that if they would have came out and said that, people would have been like, "Are you nuts?" I don't think so, and they wouldn't have been able to do their plan. All right, they're not stupid. They know that they wouldn't have been able to get away with that. So what do? They plan all these strategies, and then you fall right in line for it. You fall for it. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You fell for it. You allowed them to come in and bamboozle you, and now you're lost and don't know what to do. Those are the facts. I figured I would just hit you upside the head with them right quick so you know where I'm coming from. All right, without further ado, you know what this is. You know how we roll. You know how we get down. We look at these markets and how they're trying to discourage you with the price action. All right, now I gave you guys the rally and crash alerts. I do that every day. I tell you what we're expecting, what's moving. I warn you. I tell you about you using your money correctly. And it's funny because some people think that I'm, just some crazy dude in the corner somewhere, but sometimes I can't get to y'all fast enough. I can't warn you about all these different things fast enough. I'm a busy man, okay? I'm doing a lot over here. And the best that I can do is give you what's the what so that you can at least be forearmed. Forewarned is forearmed. At least you'll know what's going on. That's the best I can do for you. So I try to bring up the charts and take it from there and show you what's what, and hopefully you'll be able to understand what I've done and what I'm working with, and we take it from there, man. That's all I can do. I can't do no more. I really can't. I would like to, but at the end of the day, I just can't. I can only do what I can do. So with that being said, man, I just want to encourage everybody, you know, take to heart the things that we talk about. I know I cover a lot of information in these lives. In the morning, I cover a lot of information. Same thing in the evening. I'm covering almost 50 charts. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I know it is. But let me encourage you. The thing about YouTube and social media is you can always go back. Always. You have an opportunity to go back and rewatch it. You can rewind, you can fast forward, you can do all that stuff. Okay? So you're not limited. If you miss something, all you gotta do is go back and re-listen to it. Okay? Don't be discouraged. Say, oh man, what did I miss? I got here late. It's all right. It don't matter. All right, because it's just gonna come up again. All right, I'm gonna hook you up again and again and again until you have a chance to get it. Because that's just what we do, man. That's how I roll. I want to make sure that you guys have everything that you need so that you can get in here and bang it out every day with me in these markets. Put yourself on the winning side for once. You know what I'm saying? That's really important. You got to be on the right side for once. So I just wanted to throw that out there with y'all, man. Just let you know that I'm working real hard over here behind the scenes to try to get everybody in a position where they can make some money, and like I said, not be beholden to the state. You don't want to be a ward of the state. You don't want to be one of those individuals that have to depend and rely on the state. That is not a good place to be. You don't want to be that dude that is dependent upon and reliant upon the state. It is a bad look for you. You don't want to be that guy or gal. Trust me. Take my word for it. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to like it. It's not going to be good for you. All right? So take what I'm saying to heart and get in the game. You can't be afraid. You can't be scared. I know things get a little weird from time to time because of the things that we're seeing happen in the media, and it can be confusing sometimes too because so many things are happening, and you don't know which way to turn. Sometimes you don't know what to believe. You don't want to have to believe certain things. You want to believe that everything is everything and it's going to be all right. You want to believe that this too shall pass. I know, man. I know you want to believe that. Who wouldn't want to believe that? But at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, you know what it is. You know what's real and you know what's not. And unfortunately, a lot of things that you thought were real are not. And it's going to hurt you to your heart when you find out that they're not. All right. And I just want to encourage everybody today, don't give up. Don't get depressed. Just handle your business at the end of the day. That's all you can do. Handle your business. If you can do that, you're going to be okay. Everything else will work itself out. Just do the things that you know to do each and every day, and everything else will come to pass. All right. Just got to chill a little bit. All right. And another thing you should do too, and this is what I did today too, I turned off all of the noise. I didn't listen to any of the um, the rioting coverage. Seems like that has been in a 24-hour loop, nonstop coverage. They've been going to every city in the union and just showing carnage and chaos and foolishness, you know, just foolishness. So I did not look at anything today. I kept the monitor on, but the sound was off, and I wasn't even really looking at it. I keep it on just in case there's something that is mandatory to my attention with these markets. Everything else, I just let that ride because it doesn't mean much. All right. What I did do is I've been in the lab all day, and I've been adding the things that everyone wanted added so that every day, even if I forget, the charts will still come up. You know what I mean? So if you miss a particular chart that you were looking for, just know that if you rewind the video at the end, you'll be able to get what you need from it. Also, just a FYI for you guys that are in the chat room, if you go to your dashboard and you look at the reports, because the reports go out, before I do the live. So you'll be able to follow along if, when you look at the reports, because basically what I'm doing is I'm really just breaking down from the technical side. I'm breaking down the technicals on the reports that you're getting on your dashboard. So even though you have all the information that I am covering on these end of day reports, it's still good to hear. And even if you're kind of like on the sidelines on a few things, it's good sometimes to look at the algo chart and see if there's anything that can help in the decision making process. You know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. So that's usually a really good thing. And that's why I do this too, because it can help to kind of put some things together for you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so we don't really have a clear signal in this particular market, but it's a market you trade all the time, and you just want to have an order in there working and waiting. So I get that. So that's why we do the end of day reports the way I do them too, because it helps. And like I always tell you, you're not just looking at charts. You're not going to get all the information you need. It's impossible. The algo charts are a lot more specific, but even if within those, there's still a lot of limitations because at the end of the day, they're still charts, and those are not going to have the information that the reports have. The reports are the most up-to-date, accurate information. Charts are up-to-date and accurate too, but you can only put so much on a screen in a chart is basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to give you the best of both worlds. I'm giving you, the audio visual to go with the reports is what it boils down to. So that's why we do what we do too. So if you do hear me say something that might be contradictory, or I should say apparent contradictory, always lean with the report. 100%, regardless of what you hear me say in the end of day report in the chart segment of the live feed, always look at what the report says. Ignore me and go with the report. I cannot stress that enough. All right. Because what I'm doing is just, like I said, I'm giving you the visual aspect to go with the report. That's it. So if you hear me say something that sounds like I'm contradicting the report, the report is smarter than me. That's why I built it, because it's going to remember all of the rules. It's going to remember all of the technical analysis, chart patterns, everything. It takes all of the technical studies and then it combines it and cross-examines it with all the algos. So you got all these algos working together with technical analysis, and then it gives you a pretty accurate, result. Another thing too, I wanted to say is that at the end of the day, you guys, everything that can be known and that is already known has already been factored into the price. All right. Always remember that. That goes with the saying that the market is always right. Now, you will hear the talking heads say from time to time, the market really hasn't factored in yet X, Y, and Z. That is not true. What the reporter doesn't understand is at the current time that they're talking, the market has a particular decision about X, Y, and Z. That decision is subject to change without notice. And that's what usually happens. So they'll say, the market's been bullish, and it's really not factoring in this, and that. And then all of a sudden, a couple of days will go by, then the market will go down hard. And they'll say, yeah, the market's factoring in now the X, Y, and Z. No, the market always had factored that in. And it was going by what the perceived result was going to be. And then it looked to see if the market had found an equilibrium based on that information, if the current price supports a particular outlook. If that outlook changes, then that's when the market will go in and it will change with it. That's the part that a lot of people miss. I cannot tell you how many people miss that little piece of information right there. They think the market doesn't know something or hasn't factored in something. And that could not be furthest from the truth. Oh, the market has factored it in. The market has thought about it. You can believe that. That's not the issue. The issue is what the market believes about the information. That's why, you always hear me say, it doesn't matter if someone gave you what the report was going to be, what the new report was going to be. What the Fed decision was going to be on the interest rates. None of that stuff even matters. And reason why it doesn't matter is because you and we don't know how the market is going to respond to said information. In other words, the market has been known to crash on good information and rally on negative information. So positive information causes a crash, negative information causes a rally, and then vice versa. Sometimes positive information will produce a rally and negative information will produce a crash. But because of that uncertainty, you just don't know the reaction, how the data is going to be parsed, broken down, understood, perceived, projected. That is the unknown that you do not know. And because you do not know that, that is where the risk comes in. Remember, the markets are always trying to find equilibrium every day. That's why, for the most part, markets consolidate longer than they trend. All right. That's the part that frustrates people because they don't know how to handle the consolidation. But the markets do and always will consolidate. And that can happen a majority of the time, especially where there's equilibrium. If equilibrium has been reached, then what you are going to see is a consolidation. Prices will ebb and flow just a little bit, and they'll trade within a range. We call that a congestion area or sideways market action. Consolidation, congestion, sideways action. That can happen inside of the Kumo cloud. Most of the time, that will happen inside of the Kumo cloud. But it can also happen outside of the Kumo cloud. It can happen above the Kumo cloud. It can happen below the Kumo cloud. Consolidation can happen at any price point. Doesn't have to always be in the Kumo cloud. It just so happens, though, when price action consolidates inside of the Kumo cloud, it normally entails tighter ranges, and it can last usually also for a greater extended period of time. That's the only difference with that. So I figured I would throw that in there too for you. I'm trying to just throw out as much information as possible for you guys, just so you can, um, you know, grow your understanding of why we do things. Because a lot of you get it. You know what it is, and you know how to understand and interpret what I say. But sometimes you don't know the why, or you don't know the how. So I just want to give you that, because this part is important. How you perceive the information is very important. What you believe and understand about the markets is also very important, because no matter where you go, you bring your worldview with you. Everywhere you go, there you are. Okay, you take yourself with you everywhere you go. So the markets, everything comes back to the markets at the end of the day. Everything comes back to mathematics at the end of the day. It is unavoidable. Mathematics are unavoidable. You cannot avoid math. You have to deal with math. Math is always going to be there. All right. So just wanted to let you know that too. I talked about it this morning a little bit. I told you that math is everywhere. At the end of the day, everything comes back to math. It comes back to the numbers. The numbers speak. The numbers have their own language. Numbers can take and parse information and give you information and clues that sometimes are quantifiable, and then other times they are not quantifiable, not as easily quantifiable. That's when we get into, the supernatural, the paranormal, all right? Outside, things that are outside of the norm. You've heard the saying that numbers don't lie, but the truth of the matter is numbers can be made to lie, all right? So we go out on a limb sometimes. We look at statistical probabilities and things of that nature, but at the end of the day, if we're honest with ourselves, we know what we can expect from a day-to-day situation, just from normalcy. And then there are times when the unexpected happens, and it's hard to really nail that down at times. So that's when the algos come in. The algos take all that information for you, and it puts it into a nice, beautiful package and puts a nice little bow on it and presents it to you and says, okay, here you go. Bam. I've taken things that you know and things you don't know, and boom, this is what I've given for you. This is what I've done for you. This is what we got. And that's pretty neat, pretty neat. All right. So with that said, let me give you the lowdown on where we are, where we have been, and where we are going. All right, starting with the notables, and then we're going to get into the chart segment. All right, so for tomorrow morning, it should be noted that the euro dollar for tonight into tomorrow morning has a crash alert. It should also be put on notice that the wheat futures, and they have a rally alert. The Bitcoin futures composite index is showing a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow. And we have a rally alert for nat gas for tonight into tomorrow. And silver futures has a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow. That is the position that the markets have kind of put themselves into. Now let's take a look at why that is. That's the fun part, ladies and gentlemen. We get to look at why all this is. How did this come about? Where are we? How did we get here? Blah, blah, blah. It's time to look at these charts. So let's tune so you can see. And here we go. All right. First one, and of course, not in any particular order. So don't worry, your security will come up. All right. I took all the forex pairs, all the crypto pairs, the equities that we look at, the ETFs, and the futures contracts, forex, everything's in there. We got 48 charts to run through. So let's run through it. All right, the very first chart you're looking at is XRP Ripple, still in a bear market, still consolidated. Nothing is really happening here. Nothing to see here. Next one we got is Work. On the equity side, ticker is WORK. It is an equity. You can see this one has been just taking off. It's moving higher each and every day. And we're looking for this bull market to continue to build momentum and continue to rally. All right, it's in a bull market and it is pulse waving positive. So the system is still long on that side. All right, another bull market we got is W. Ticker is W for Wayfair. All right, it's in a bull market and it is pulse waving positive. We're expecting the market to continue to climb. All right, on the next one, taking a look at the TLT bonds. All right, this one is still in a bull market, but it's been losing some momentum here. All right, losing some major momentum here. All right, so we still got the configuration of a bull market, but the momentum is really coming off. We're in a corrective bull market right now. All right, pulling back still from those highs that were made during the rally mode. All right, and I think that this one is really going to continue to pull back, still be correcting. Chances are this market will continue to correct until it turns into a bear market. That's what it's looking like right now in the bonds. And we got bearish momentum there. All right, so looking at looking at SWANK, the Swan. All right, this here is also in a bull market, and we expect prices to continue to climb on this one as well. Moving right along, system still long there, no new signals to talk about. All right, this is the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF. It's in a bear market. However, we've been retracing off of those lows. It is still in retracement. Possibly it can retrace until it turns back into a bull market. I don't know. But right now, the market is still headed higher. So system is still looking at longs in this one. Only problem we got, though, is this gap right here that hasn't been back and filled yet. At some point, the market will have to back and fill that. But for right now, it's loving life. All right, taking a look now at the SLV, tracking silver. We got a crash alert. Looks like the market's finally wanting to come and fill these gaps down here. So we got a crash alert for the silver for tonight into tomorrow. And right now it's still in a bear market. It's looking like it wants to turn into a bull market, possibly. All right. It's right there at the cusp. All right. Right there at the cusp. We shall see. Moving right along, looking at QQQ, NASDAQ 100. It's in a bull market. We're expecting higher prices on this one. I know we got this gap back here, but we filled it on this bar right here. So the only other one that's questionable will be this one back down here. So at some point, the market will need to correct. Taking a look now at the OIH, the crude oil futures. It should be noted that crude oil is finally moving higher, but this OIH is still, man, in this Kumo cloud, still in the bear market. It's trying to continue to retrace. It's filling this gap right here. Is it going to bump its head at $150, $140, $150 a share? It might, but that's still $25 more higher. So OIH could try to be doing something here, but just keep in mind this is a very wide Kumo cloud because of the destruction in the oil market. This is where you are. All right. All right. So moving right along. Here is NAT. The ticker is NAK. Okay. This one right here is now in a pullback mode. Just filled this gap here. We have a crash alert for tomorrow on this one. Looks like this one may pull back a little bit more, may come down to maybe $1.05 or so. Just keep your eyes open on this one. I think every pullback, though, I think if the pullback can build support like it did here and here, it'll be a nice base for the next run up. And the next leg up should take this beyond the $2 mark. All right, so bull market, but right now you're just pulling back. It's not in a correction, it's just pulling back. So it's still bullish. All right, taking a look here at your Mexican peso. I have warned and have been warning you that this one is going to continue to extend its declines, and that's exactly what it's doing. It has not found a bottom, so it is too early to call a bottom. You still have the complexion of a bull market, but your momentum is just coming off. You're still in a strong correction off of this explosion you had back here. And there's no gaps here or anything to fill. It's just that this market wants to correct, and it's correcting pretty strongly. So I'm expecting extended losses here to continue in this particular market. If this correction continues the way it's going, it could turn into a bear market real easy. All right. From a momentum standpoint, on the algo chart, we are already now in a bear market. All right. From an algo perspective, we're in a bear market. You broke down below trend line support, and you broke below the Kumo cloud support. This was a very wide Kumo cloud, and it just kept falling right through it. This is a very good example, this chart here, this whole picture right here, because this is something that can happen. All right, it really can. You're seeing it right here. Okay. All right, so all right, I'll hook you up, man. I see you over there. I see you. Let me see what I got here for you. All right, so the ticker is MCHP, Microchip Technology. All right. All right, so this one is in a bear market. All right, it's still in a bear market correction off of the bear market lows. You got a bullish weekly trend momentum, which suggests that the momentum will stay bullish for the foreseeable future. At some point, perhaps, the market will correct again, run out of steam, and resume the downtrend. Or this thing can continue to correct and threaten to change trend and go from a bear market to a bull market. This one's looking rather interesting. But right now, it's still in a bear market with bullish momentum. You do got a gap down here that needs to be back and filled. That's possibly what you can see coming up here in the future. Also, a gap right here that was done needs to be filled as well. So gap here, and then you got this gap here. So you got two gaps. You got a minor gap here and a major gap here. All right, major and minor, meaning minor is closer to the current price. Major is further away from price. So minor gap, major gap. Minor pullback, major pullback. All right, let's keep it pushing. Looking at Litecoin. Litecoin has been in this long bear market here on this daily chart. All right, and nothing has changed. You're still inside of the Kumo cloud. You're just buying support and selling resistance. Right now, you're in a possibly selling resistance phase because we got a crash alert for tomorrow, for tonight and tomorrow in this one. It's in a bear market, man, and you're in the cloud, so chopping around is to be expected. Chop, chop, chop. All right, looking now at Litecoin. All right, here you go. All right, same thing, bear market. Momentum is absolutely flat. And this one has a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow. I don't know what it wants to do. I just know it's in a bear market. And it's going to take a lot to turn that. So here we go. Rallies being sold. All right, looking at JNK, the junk bond ETF, it is really starting to break away now and pull away. Still in a bear market. It's going to take a lot to change and correct that. Still in a bear market, still in a bear market. Just a correction off of the bear market lows, and that's it. Technically speaking, from a momentum perspective, you are already in a bull market. From a momentum perspective, let's see if it can build from it. All right. So higher prices are expected in the junk bond J&K. Looking at IYR, the commercial real estate sector, we talked about that today in the pre-market poll scan. Starting to pull away a little bit here. We still got this gap though. They got this minor gap here in the Kumo cloud. So this one's still in a bear market. Momentum is just popped up from the lows, but you know, this one has a long way to go before you can say, okay, this is threatening to become a bull market. No, you're just coming up here and back and filling these gaps back up in here. You know, you're testing the major gaps back here, but you still haven't taken care of the minor gap right here. So this one's, as you can see, it's sideways. All right. But I'm expecting higher prices to continue because that's the trajectory it's on with the bullish weekly trend momentum. Mexican peso not on ONA. You might be right. I don't know. If you looked at it and you can't find it, it probably isn't. Let me see something. I think I got my platform open. Let me see. Let's see. Give me just a second. Give me a second. Okay, Mexican peso. Let's see here. Okay, all the rates. Let's see. I know they got 40 pairs. I know that. Wow. I guess you're right. No, you're not. No, you're not. They do have it. They have it. They have it. Okay, let me it's USD slash MXN. This is how it looks. USD slash MXN. I just typed it here in the live chat for you, okay? All right. So this is what it looks like. All right. I just typed it in the live chat. That's how you pull it up in ONA. All right. You go if you're using the desktop application. All right, the desktop application. Let me just show you real quick. Hold on. All right. So the desktop application on the ONA. All right, here we go. Okay. So if you have the desktop application open, you're gonna go down here to where it says favorites and forex. You see this little wheel right here? That's your settings. All right, that's your instrument selection tool. Click that. And then over here, you're gonna want to select the drop down all. Okay. And then you're going to come down here to all the way down to the bottom to USD. And here it is right here, USD MXN. That's the Mexican peso. All right. So this is where you'll find that. Then you just hit add. You can add it to your drop down and then it'll appear here. All the, like here are the ones the ones I watch. And then it comes up just like that. Okay. All right. So that's where you find that on the ONA platform. All right, moving right along back to the charts. Hey, no worries, man. That's how we roll. We help each other here, man. It's all good. All right, so looking at the commercial real estate, we did that earlier this morning about the IYR. It's still trying to pop. It's in the bear market, trying to retrace. I'm just going to keep calling it higher until it runs out of gas. You got a bullish weekly trend momentum reading. What else do you want? You know what I'm saying? But as you know, as you heard today, commercial real estate is in the toilet. Not a good place to be. And you're welcome, Brett. No problem in the live chat. All right. The next one is HDGE, hedge. You see how we had this rally alert? We got a little bit of production, and then now we got a crash alert, and we got mad production with that one. And yes, we are hitting those new lowers. Remember, I did tell you the other day that don't think that this can't go lower. I said that. It can go to $1. It can go to pennies. All right. This is just how it is. Shorts are getting destroyed in this Fed-funded market. The market's been backstopped. You stop shorting and you look for places to buy. It's just that simple. Hack is back. HACK still looking at the ETFs here. We got a crash alert for tomorrow. I believe the crash alert is probably going to be right because the last one we got production. The one before before that one, we got some production. All right, so we do tend to get production on these, so we'll see. All right, but we are in the bull market. Momentum is up there, so I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get triggered because you do have an extended bullish weekly trend momentum to go with it. So we could have one of these here. So for this one, it's not a good example because we had no momentum when that happened, and we got no production either. Probably a better one would be this one because this occurred during a bullish weekly trend momentum phase, and we finally did get production, but it was very little. All right, so we'll see. We'll see. All right, on the next one, we got GLD, gold. Gold is in the bull market. And right now, the momentum is there. It's looking like the momentum is trying to turn, though. It hasn't officially, like, turned, but it's getting there. It's threatening to turn. All right, we are in a corrective state off the highs right now in gold, but the trend is still bullish. As long as the trend is still bullish, we should be in the game. It should be no problem. We should be in the game. It all depends on how gold is going to act, though. All right, I don't know. I don't know. We're down $4.50 in the night market right now. We shall see. Looking at GE, General Electric, bear market. We got this crash alert, got this rally alert. We're getting production in and outside of the Kumo cloud, but overall, this market is foul. It is bearish, and the market is still locked into the bearish trend. Rallies are being sold. I mean, what more do you want? This is a dead duck right now. All right, moving right along, we got GDXJ. Bull market on the daily chart. Last crash alert was productive. Got another crash alert for tomorrow. I'm thinking it's also going to be productive and put prices back down to the 42.41 handle. Can you handle that? Be prepared, ladies and gentlemen, on the GDXJ. All right, moving right along to GBTC, looking at the Bitcoin Futures Composite Index ETF. We got ourselves a rally alert for tomorrow. This is a secondary rally alert. This one wants to break out and got bullish weekly trend momentum to go with it. All right, we're gonna see. This one may get nasty. We'll see if we can get up to 20. Look at the Ethereum ETF. Look at that breakout, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that bar. The ETF got busy today. Opened at $146.16 a share and ran up to $194.99. Wow. That's coming off of that secondary rally alert. Take a look at it. Take a look. Had a primary rally alert here, got production almost immediately, and look at that. Secondary rally alert, boom, gave you your production. You're in it to win it. If anyone is in this, protect yourself. I don't know if this one has extended hours trading or pre-market trading. If it does, and you see Ethereum Cash pulling back or something, watch this one. Try to lock in as much of this initial breakout as you can, all right? You know this gap right here is looking you right in the face, and so is this one right here. Don't be stupid. All right, don't be stupid. All right, this thing can pull back. If it does, you know it's going to take this out and then find support and run again. Trend line is not out of the Kumo cloud. I repeat, trend line support not out of cloud. Therefore, you can't. It's not really strong, mature bull yet. It's the beginning stages of a bull. It needs to survive if it's going to remain a bull. You got it? Good. Moving on. All right, so now we got the Ethereum Cash market. Looking at the crypto, you got this big gap right here. Hasn't really filled itself yet. Got a crash alert for tonight and tomorrow, so be careful. If this does pull back, then you know good and well that it's going to catch you ETFers. All right? Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Moving right along. Take a look at why am I getting two different Ethereums? Hold on. I'll have to look at this later. All right, yeah, this is the composite. Doesn't show the gap, so not worried about it. All right, EOS, E to the O to the S. Bear market, flat momentum, going nowhere. Inside of Kumo Cloud. Next. All right, DXCM, going to the equity side of the table. Crash alert for tomorrow. This one is in a bull market, but the momentum has been coming off because you're in a correction off of the bull run highs. You're back and fill this gap back in here. Testing trend line support seems to be in play. That's around 340 to 350. All right, so if you are long this one, you want to pay attention and see how this thing moves tomorrow. All right, maybe time to liquidate and step aside and see what the markets do. If you are a PulseWave subscriber, follow the report. Take a look at DNN. DNN right now, still doing more of the same. Nothing to see here. Bear market, sideways consolidation. Next. DFEN, the Aerospace 3X ETF. Dead in the water. Look at this. Dead momentum, flatlined. Nothing's happening. Next chart. Oh, and you're in the bear market. Next chart is Dash. Looking at the cryptos. Nothing to see here. Bear market in the Kumo Cloud. Sideways consolidation. Momentum is all but flatlined. Next chart. All right, CCJ. CCJ is in the bull market. And you're coming off, you got this crash alert on this one that you got from yesterday for today. Got really no production, but we're still under the alert. So this one, even though it's in a bear market, we're looking for prices to possibly pull back some more, but we'll be ready if it wants to break out and run. We'll be ready for that too. Follow your report. See report for more details. Moving right along, Beyond Meat, BYND. This one has a crash alert for tomorrow. It's in the bull market, but it's in a corrective state within the bull market. Possibly needs to pull back some more, fill this gap down here, maybe even test trend line support at $110 or so. So this one, nothing more to see here. Taking a look now at the Bitcoin Futures Composite Index. Got a big old crash alert on this one for tonight into tomorrow. All right, so even though you're in a bull market, it's a baby bull. Still trying to make sure you feel it has a strong foundation to run from. I did tell you that 11,000 was going to be the next target. I still think that the market's going to gun for that after the pullback has been established. All right. Until then, we're going to trade inside of today's bar for the next foreseeable couple of days if we do not get production right away. All right. Looking at the Bitcoin Cash bear market inside the Kumo Cloud, nothing to see here. Moving right along, looking at wheat futures for those that like the grain markets. We're coming off of a crash alert here in a bull market. The bull market is threatening to become a bear market right now with the momentum pointing down also. I'm looking for prices to continue lower here in the wheat futures. Moving right along, we got soybean futures within a bear market, but we got a secondary rally alert on the soybean futures. Perhaps it wants to give it a go. We shall see if it can get some legs behind it. Momentum's been flat, been moving sideways. I don't know. We'll see what the market has in it. Taking a look at corn futures, also in a bear market. This one, though, is in a wide Kumo Cloud consolidation. Momentum is pretty much dried up. I'm expecting this one to continue to go nowhere. Take a look at the US dollar index. It is crashing now outside, below the Kumo Cloud, below the trend line, This one is losing and giving it up. And it looks like we could go down, 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 and possibly even turn into a bear market. This one's starting to look interesting. That should be a boon, though, for commodities. That should cause rallies in soybeans, corn, and wheat, and other commodities. Looking at the Kiwi, the New Zealand dollar, it's in a bear market, but it's in a retracement off of those lows. I'm expecting higher prices to continue in this retracement. And at this rate, if it continues, we could actually turn into a bull market. From a momentum perspective, the algo charts are suggesting the bull market is already underway. So the New Zealand dollar caught legs. So I'm looking for it to continue. Looking at the dollar yen broke out today. Bear market, the momentum has been pretty flat, but today it broke right on out of that Kumo cloud. Maybe this thing has legs. Maybe we're beginning to build the beginning stages of a bullish weekly trend momentum. Let's see. Looking at the pound sterling, breaking out as well. Bear market momentum is starting to heat up, and we got a bullish weekly trend momentum. We're coming off of a secondary and primary rally alert. Maybe this one too has legs. Let's see. Taking a look at the euro yen, which showed its behind again, getting mad strong. Bullish weekly trend momentum. Bear market that has all the makings of possibly building itself into a bull market. We shall see if we get more of the same. This one right now, though, short term is bullish. Canadian dollar. Oil is not helping this one. Oil is not helping this market at all whatsoever. This bull market is continuing to pull back, fell out of the Kumo cloud, fell below the trend line support, and right now it is falling like a stone. Canadian is building downside momentum. Looking at the Aussie dollar is in a bear market, but it is breaking out. From a momentum perspective, this one is already bullish, but we still got to be in a bull market in order to officially call it. We don't. We just have momentum. It's looking strong, looking like a continuation. Is going to keep it moving. We got bullish weekly trend momentum as well. Looking for prices to continue higher. And the Australian dollar, go Aussie. Taking here a look at the Dow futures. Dow futures are consolidating, showing signs of exhaustion within this bear market, showing signs that it is having problems with the $26,000 handle. 26,000 is a resistance area for the Dow and could possibly start running out of steam. We'll see what it got. Taking a look at the Russell, I made my hustle, same thing. Running up against some resistance up in here. We had a crash alert, got some production on it. Market is still operating under that until we get another signal. We are still under a crash alert in the Russell, believe it or not. Moving right along, taking a look at crude oil futures. Now, crude oil has been climbing, ladies and gentlemen. Almost hitting the $38 handle right now in the overnight market. This one is broken out of the Kumo cloud and trying to get some energy behind it. As long as crude oil can close this week above $35, it opens the door wide open for a $50 run in crude oil. That's right, you heard it. A $50 handle could be right around the corner in crude oil. Now it's looking like a time to get a little active. See what the market got in it. Go UCO is all I got to say on that one. All right, taking a look now at the NASDAQ 100 futures contract. It is bullish. It is continuing to climb small little ladder steps. Bullish weekly trend momentum, nothing bearish to talk about on this one at all. Expect higher prices for NASDAQ. Looking at the E-mini S&P 500, it is still in a bear market. It is still correcting off of the lows back in hither, but it's starting to get a little tired. The closer we get to the $31 handle, the 3100 is looking a little rough. You know, we're getting a little tired up in here between 30.50 and 3100. And we're still in the bear market, so we could be running out of steam. Market could be ready to turn and lock back into that downtrend. We still got an elongated bullish weekly trend momentum. Will it continue? We shall see. And that's it, guys. We did it. We did it again. 49 charts, ladies and gentlemen. 49 charts. Go PulseWaves. I tell you, man. Sometimes I think, oh, I ain't gonna be able to hit that. Today I ain't gonna hit it. I know I ain't gonna hit it, and then look what I do. I hit it. I'm so proud of myself. If you're not already subscribed, you need to go to PulseWaveTrading.com. You can get started trading with us, learning how to trade, learning how to pimp these markets. Come break bread with us, man. PulseWaveTrading.com. You can start trading with us for as low as $9 a month. And we got the live trading webinar tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard New York time. You don't want to miss it. We're going to get busy. And with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. See y'all in the morning for the pre-market pulse scan. Peace.